Hello, and welcome to the 14th episode in our series, The End of the World as You Know It, a condensed version of end time prophecy. I'm your guest speaker, Dr. Scott Mackenzie, today, and we're going to discuss Revelation chapter 13, written by the Apostle John. But right now, I want to give you a condensed version of what Islam teaches concerning their Messiah, the 12th Imam. Muslims believe their Messiah, the 12th Imam, will suddenly appear as if by magic. They're being taught his voice will fall from the sky as he announces his appearance from the Kaaba in Mecca. He will then raise an army from Mecca, defeat Islam's enemies in a series of apocalyptic battles, even their enemies in Jerusalem. Then, after he returns to Mecca, all of Arabia will submit to him. Soon after that, he will establish a new world order or an Islamic caliphate. They believe that he will set up his government in Iraq. And Jesus, the son of Mary, will become the 12th Imam's right-hand man. Together, they will fight against worldwide Islamic oppression, bringing truth, justice, and the Islamic way to the world. And that's my condensed version of Islamic messianic prophecy. Class, I'm bringing this up because chapter 13 describes for you a world leader and his right-hand man some 500 years before Islam even became a religion. So here you have two world leaders. One sounds like the Islamic 12th Imam, and the other, Islam teaches, is Jesus, Mary's son, the Imam's right-hand man. And as you look at verses 1 and 2, you're introduced to this world leader who will be possessed by Satan. And to simplify verse 2, I'm going to tell you that the leopard represents Europe, the bear represents Iran, and the lion represents Iraq. I'm basing this symbolism on what the prophet Daniel has written, which means the Antichrist will receive support from Europe, Iran, and Iraq. Today, even the United States is compromising with Islamic terrorism, as is Europe. And I think they are because of their large Islamic populations. Then verse 3 describes the assassination of the world leader and his resurrection, which I've mentioned before. Looking at verse 5, you find this now Satan-possessed leader in control of the New World Order during the final 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation period. Why is this Satan-possessed man blaspheming God? Because God defeated him in a battle for heaven and then kicked him out of heaven. Okay, let's jump ahead to verses 11 through 18 in Revelation chapter 13 now. Here you are introduced to Antichrist's right-hand man, a man who is a master manipulator. He has a charismatic personality, and he is called a false prophet by many students of prophecy. A man who receives his supernatural power from Satan. Satan who possesses this dead world leader, turning him into the Antichrist. So this man, this false prophet, demands the citizens of the New World Order to worship Satan, who has possessed the world leader. And he's demanding that they worship him as their God. After all, he was dead, and because he's God, he resurrected himself. This false prophet, believed to be Jesus, according to Islamic prophecy, will set up an image of this Antichrist world leader in the temple. He will give the image the ability to speak and command the death of those who refuse to worship the Antichrist. in a newly built temple in Jerusalem. Again, this was the event spoken of by Daniel the prophet, Jesus, and Paul. The Apostle Paul wrote, "The man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. This is the abomination of desolation, and those who refuse to worship the Antichrist image will die. This is why Jesus told the Jews to flee in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 24, verses 15 and 16, where it says, "Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains." But what about those who want to worship the Antichrist? What about those who are loyal to Satan's new government? The false prophet will give them what has been called the mark. This mark will go on their hand or on their forehead. This is a mark of loyalty. It's been said that this mark will include the name of the Antichrist in it. And if you don't comply, you can't sell anything, you can't buy anything, you can't even run a lemonade store or stand in front of your house. And so, with that said, we must end our study of chapter 13 today. Even so, with all of this coming, remember what Jesus said. "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." Until next time, farewell, my friends.